One of our greatest abilities is to live harmoniously 24/7 with anyone. Now there's a dating relationship workshop bombshell if ever I've dropped one. But I see marriages and they can't even get on when they only see each other in the morning before they go to work, don't work together, and then see each other at night, and they still can't make that work. So they're only spending it with each other a few hours of the day because they don't communicate when they sleep. And even that can't work, let alone the fact that we are inbuilt to be 24/7 with each other. Because where we come from, there's no walls, there's no buildings. We're all together as souls. So in essence, we have that ability. And so to make a marriage work, it's very simple. If you want to have longevity, you can be married 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever many years, so long as you're not 24/7 with that person. So long as you can go to work and be busy, and that person goes to work and be busy or stays at home, as long as you're not spending that 24/7. And if you can stretch it out and not have too much involvement with each other, you can make the marriage look really good. And you can come together every now and then, and it's going to be okay, because 30% of that time will be good, and 70% of the time when you are actually together, you're not so good. So you're not spending a lot of time together, and then 70% of the time you do spend together is not so loving. It's not so great. But we are actually inbuilt to live 24/7 together. Now, how is it and why is it that it doesn't work? That most people can't do it? Why is it? Does anyone have the answers? May I report to the audio people that no one has their hand up. An audience of 200 plus. So may I put my hand up. One of the reasons why we can't get on 24/7 or can't have fantastic relationships is because we actually hold back being the love that we are. Once you hold back being the love that you are, you create differences, you create situations, you create stumbling blocks, you create reactions. The key is to present love in all that you are without having the investment of that love needing to come back to you. And so we create relationships where we need them to be all the bits we are not willing to be of ourselves. And so the number one thing that we seek in relationships is love, because we're not willing to be full love with ourselves. If we're not willing to be love with ourselves, then it must come from the other person. And we tend to pick somebody who shows us the greatest amount of attention, and we call that love. And then we accept that attention as the filler for the love that we are not prepared to give to ourselves. But if you've been hearing what I'm actually saying, is that we seek the love that we are not allowing ourselves to be, but when we form relationships, we seek attention instead of love. So we've already made a substitution. We've substituted the love that we are not willing to give to ourselves and therefore need, and we substitute that love to be attention or recognition in whatever form that may come. And once we do that, then we open ourselves, listen to the word, we open ourselves to relationships. That's the words that gets used. I'm open to that relationship. But you're not open to that relationship. What you're saying is, I'm attracted to the level of attention that I'm getting. I'm enjoying not want of a better word, I like. I'm pleased, probably the best word. I'm relieved at the level of attention I am getting. And the level of attention I get from this person, whoever that may be, is much better than the level of attention I got from the other person or anyone else I've been. So the best level of attention that I get is the one I want to be with. And I call that falling in love. And so, once again, it has nothing to do with love whatsoever. We go into a relationship because it brings us a form of relief. It brings us a form of coming together with another person that is based on a companionship, a compatibility of companionship, a compatibility of hanging out with that person, a compatibility of practicalities. They earn a living, they can support me, or I earn a living, they earn a living, we could do well, we put our incomes together. There's all sorts of reasons it comes together. It gets called a relationship. But none of it is actually about love first. Very little of it is actually a foundation based on you being loved first as your commitment to you, and then bringing that with everything you have, not holding anything back, and taking that to that person. And if that person is not ready, it doesn't matter, because if they reject that, they are actually rejecting themselves, not you. You can't be rejected if you're love. You're full of it. You can't feel rejection if you're love. You can only feel rejection if you invest in that person saying yes to the need you put out. And when that need doesn't come back, then it's crushing, very crushing, and very real in its pain. But what the pain that you feel when you're being rejected is the pain that is already in there, that you opened up and felt by putting out there for someone to fill it. All the other times it stays locked away and hidden and not open, so you don't know you have the pain. So when you open up for someone to actually come and fill it, it's the only time you get to have the pain open enough for you to feel the pain. So we say it's the person rejecting us that caused the pain, when in fact the pain was already in there. They cannot cause it. But relationships are part of medicine. If you're in a not so good relationship, then that's bad medicine. It's so emotional, it's so drama-full, that it's actually not good medicine to not be loving. And look, I'm talking mum to daughter, mum to son, father to daughter, father to son, husband and wives, colleagues at work, so-called friends that you have, cousins, and so forth and so forth. All of those relationships are based on emotions and dramas and needs and reliefs and so forth. And very few are based on the true essence of love.